Here we go. So, yesterday we talked about how yesterday we talked about an article out of Politico where they kind of talked about the possibility of unrest following the election. And, sometimes I think my videos are a little bit too long because sometimes people respond to the title, not necessarily what I'm saying. Neither here nor there. My point in yesterday's video was simply don't believe what the articles are telling you regarding the likelihood of things happening. We are already right now in 2020 in a position where there is a good chance the election could be that thing that really pushes us over. We already have an extremely motivated group of people out here in the streets. We have a really tight election. We have new allegations coming out every single day regarding Biden or regarding Trump. And, people are really entrenched in their political position. So a contested election where one candidate feels that they're wronged or that the election is stolen from them could be extremely problematic. It could be that moment that puts another motivated group of people on the streets, which causes things to get a little bit out of control. Now, we've already seen the case where Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer was narrowly escaping being kidnapped. And here we have yet another story. Just a couple of weeks later, where we have a Wichita man accused of threatening to kidnap and kill the city's mayor over a mask mandate. Now, this article is coming from the New York Post, which, I previously said not the most reliable source, but given their position with Twitter these days, I got to say they're definitely moving up in my books as far as a credible source. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about this story because this is, again, more proof that you need to at least consider the possibility that things are about to get a little bit more hairy and to prepare. You know what I mean? Again, we don't need lots and lots of people to cause things to get out of control. You really only need a small group of people. And that's really what I want to show you here. In the Whitmer story, it was a group of like 20 people. Here, this is just one guy. So here we go. A Wichita man who hated his city's face mask mandate was arrested Friday night for the alleged threatening to kidnap and murder of the mayor, he said. Meredith Dowty, 59, was busted for the alleged threats against Wichita's Mayor Brandon Whipple, the Kansas City Star reported. He said he was going to kidnap me and slash my throat, the mayor alleged of Dowty. And he needed my address because I needed to see the hangman, me, and everyone whom something about tyranny, Whipple said. Police confirmed Dowty's arrest in the newspaper and said he could face a criminal threat charge. It's sounding like the person was very upset about pretty much mask mandates, and he said something about not being able to see his mother because of virus-related restrictions on elderly homes, Whipple said of Dowty. This wasn't just some guy popping off on social media, Whipple said. He contacted someone that knows where I live that apparently he thought would give him my address. You only need one guy. Okay, you only need one guy to do a lot of damage. You see that in the case of the rioters and the protests. I mean, these aren't thousands of people. You only need a couple of hundred people. You only need 20 people who are really motivated, 20 real bad actors for things to get out of control. So I highly suggest you at least prepare yourself. Consider that, some of these things could be legitimate threats against, your own personal safety. So, take necessary precautions for sure. In July, Whipple proposed shepherded a city ordinance that requires protective face coverings be worn in most public settings in an attempt to prevent the spread of the virus that has caused the pandemic. That ordinance is extremely unpopular with the segment of the Wichita society who shut up in force on September 8th. At the council meeting, 120 people, small group, spoke for about 7 hours in opposition to the mask mandate. I don't know if you guys ever been to a city council meeting, but 7 hours? That's a little bit extreme. These things start at 5 o'clock in the evening? You there until midnight? Whipple, or many of the speakers said that their resistance is rooted in their belief that the mask mandate violates their constitutional rights or religious beliefs. Again, a lot of factors involved in this. Whipple has been an online target of local anti-mask activists after he pushed for the city to implement a citywide mask requirement as the cases surged ahead of the 4th of July weekend. He said he believed that the man's threat was credible and that he will have an increased security presence around his home to protect him and his family. Now, again, I don't know if you guys caught Joe Biden's town hall the other night. That was one of the questions that came up. You know, how do you enforce a national mask mandate? Biden says that he would appeal first to governors, and then if they don't act, then he would appeal to local city officials. So this is up the alley of a Joe Biden type administration, the policies that he'd be looking to propose. But, you know, furthermore, I really just want to make you guys aware that there are these people out here who are saying troubling things. And in this case, this guy actually went as far as to asked for the address of this mayor, to the point where they felt like they needed to get this guy in custody. So he's going to be facing some charges. We'll see how this plays out. But November 4th, November 3rd is the election. November 4th, I guess, is the beginning of the aftermath. So prepare yourself. We're going to be following up today in just a bit on the Hunter Biden story. There are new allegations. We're going to get even further into it. So stay tuned. It's 8 right now. I'll be back in about an hour. We're going to talk about it. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe for more.